Yo, what up? It's so cringy, boy. Flocker, dude. We are back for some more Chaos Ahead doll. Woo! Last time we found out that someone who's working in a hospital has been flipping a shit and drawing a picture of some steak dude with steaks in him because that's why he's called the steak dude. Well, let's see what the fuck happened because now suddenly we're, in a different kind of scene. I don't know what's going on, but that's the game for you. It was the second time Io Senna had visited this place. The first time had been several days ago. After happening to come across Takumi with Kozue in the shopping district, she had covertly tailed him, and she had pinpointed this location.
セナさん、やめた方がいいと思うのだ。
All right, it has the echo, so I'm pretty sure that's like she's talking to her in her mind.
泥棒さんはね、コドピ嫌いなの。
Okay.
それならどうしてついてきた？
Oh, the bird got him. She said coldly and perfunctorily. What the fuck, these words, dude. Look, I'm a dumbass, alright? Don't use these words. I don't know what they mean. What does it mean? Without turning around to look at the slump-shouldered and dismal-faced Kozue, Sena had come here with the intention of stealing into Takumi's room. Stealing into Takumi's room? What the fuck? Sneaking? Maybe? Yeah. Stealing? No. Nishijo Takumi wasn't normal. No, he definitely is not. Sena had reached that conclusion after speaking with him several times. There was a clear dividing line between him and the ordinary gigolomaniacs like her and Kozue. He was either the possessor of terrifically unusual delusionary abilities, or else receiving some sort of artificial support. Either way, the ambiguity of the existence known as Takumi nagged at Sena insistently. She was searching for a man called Hatano. It was possible that Nishijo Takumi was connected to him in some way. There was no positive proof. But if he were even a little suspicious, she would confirm the truth with her own eyes and crush away each possibility one by one. By doing so, Sena believed she would reach her target without fail. The door was padlocked. Sena let out a small snort and swung down her already real-booted D-sword. Alright, real-booted means it actually exists in this world. Not illusionary. It's created from an illusion into reality. In case you haven't been following the story. Or, the story. The padlock smashed to bits instantaneously.
タクミさんが帰ってきたら怒られちゃうよ。
If he comes back, dun dun dun. Sena had confirmed that Takumi had left school and headed toward the station with two friends. Besides, she wouldn't care if Takumi caught her. If that was what it took to achieve her aim, Sena thought nothing of being hated or having people report her to the police.扉を開いて、室内に足を踏み入れる. After opening the door, she stepped inside the room. Sena grimaced and groaned at the disastrous state of the room's interior. So much like a garbage heap.
汚いね。
なんで楽しそうなんだ小杖。
靴は脱いだ方がいいのかな。
Ugh. Sighing, Sena continued into the room without removing hers. Well, no shit. I mean, who the fuck knows what's in this room?
お人形さんいっぱいなのら。うぷー。
Uh, yeah, that's kind of gay. I would never do that. Mm,
たくみさんって変態さんだったんだ。すごいな。
Leaving Kozue alone as she acted oddly admiring, Senna stood before the PC. She turned on the power without a moment's hesitation and ran her eyes across the items on the top of the desk as she waited for it to start up. You know, before we even click any further, with how fucked Takumi is in the mind and how like he's always thinking somebody's watching him, wouldn't he have a password on his PC? Let's see if he wins the Darwin Award. Furrowing her eyebrows, she picked up an essay he had left there.
あ、その目、誰の目だ。
Kozue, peeking at the essay from behind Senna, bounced in place in her overexcitement.
やっぱり、たくみさんがその目誰の目の人だったのら。コズピーはパンパカパーンだったぽーん。
Fuck off. In stark contrast to Kozue, Senna disinterestedly skimmed the essay and casually looked at the other side of the paper. A split second later, her eyes went wide with shock.
これは
That which was drawn there, it was
うんぴー、人がいっぱいだね。これロボットさん？
mm,
IR2 だって。
Ioni.
セナさん？
The sound of teeth grinding leaked from Senna's mouth. Her expression was harsher than usual, and the hand with which she held the essay was trembling minutely with rage.
そうか
She raged so hard, it literally disintegrated the essay from what we can see in this image right here, folks.
西条が IR2 を生み出した張本人か
Okay, this is some new bullshit. We haven't heard about this one. I'm excited. Senna let out a low, suppressed voice, and she crumpled the essay in her fist. Whoa, Lord of Reed, dude. Ah, God damn it! It just got interesting, my boy. My boy. All right, he was dying. Let's get back to that now, shall we? The inside of my head clouded with fog, interrupting my thoughts. I left the nurse's station and wandered the hospital interior. I attempted not to think about what I'd just seen. Before I knew it, I was on a stairway landing, and Misumi-kun was standing in front of the window there, looking outside. I don't see anyone.
どうしたタク？汗びっしょりじゃねえか。顔色も悪いし。あ、顔色悪いのはいつもか。
Haha, it's a joke because you're always inside being a nerd.
もしかして走って探してたのか？そりゃバテもするぜ。無茶するね、お前って。
Maybe we should tell him about the black fucking fog we saw upstairs. Maybe we should go check it out together. Or maybe we should get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck knows? Stop freaking out like this, dude. Wiping my sweat with my hand, I made a frenetic effort to appear calm. All right, let's face it. No Belgian has ever heard of this word ever.
リミと岸本、見つけたぜ。
Oh. So he said, but I didn't see them anywhere around here. As I looked, he inexplicably pointed outside the window.
あそこだ。
Once I'd collected my breath, I walked up to the window. I could see the neighboring outpatient clinic from there. This is going to be some bullshit, isn't it? It's going to be like, alright, there's some guy in a wheelchair sitting right next to them on this fucking random bench. Watch it. The outpatient clinic and the hospital itself were in different buildings, although there appeared to be passageways connecting them. They'd been constructed to stand slightly apart from each other. The hospital wing had more floors, and this stairway landing, we could just barely look down at the roof from the outpatient wing. It was arranged like a garden, with red flowers blooming in thick plantings. It must be the restful place for the patients. Remy had a pajama-clad and a pajama-clad Ayase stood facing each other in the very center of the garden. It seemed as if they were talking about something, like that black fucking fog. The two of them weren't supposed to have been acquainted. Dun dun dun.
なんか妙にシリアスに見えねえか。
Maybe they're part of the monster mash. Almost as if they were glaring at one another. Ayase took a step closer to Remy and abruptly slapped her across the face. Boom! Bitch slapped the tripod. Even looking from here, we could pick up on the fact that it was a blow into which she put all her strength. Ayase was leaving Remy. Since she was walking toward the passageway between the buildings, maybe she'd meant to go back to her hospital room. Cat fight.
今ビンタした。
Binta. That is correct. Binta is indeed a slap. I nodded jerkily. Oh, I thought I was hearing some bullshit noise right there, but turns out it's my cat eating some food. It's all good. He only scared the fucking living shit out of me. Yo, I'm back. I did hear some weird noise. Turns out there was this random guy at my door, fucking around. That's not creepy at all. So I took some candy, and I'm eating some candy to calm my nerves. Because this is a professional let's play. Do not eat, do not drink. Smoke them if you got them. Alright, hold on. Speed up time. Alright. Remy, left alone there, stood in place without moving.
あの二人ってトラブル抱えてんのか？
I hadn't heard about anything of the sort. I immediately concurred with Misumikun's proposal that we pretend we hadn't seen anything. Deciding to leave Remy be, we returned to Ayase's hospital room. The previous poorness of my physical condition had mostly improved, and the presence of God's gaze, too, had vanished. That sickly feeling of mine began to seem like it hadn't been true. Hold on, my cat's flipping his shit. How come? Yeah. Alright, there we go. It's in the game. I'm hearing sounds. Okay. Miss Beacon, walking ahead of me, let out a small sound. When I looked up in reaction to him, Ayase was in the middle of walking straight toward us. She'd hunched over a little, and her line of sight was lowered. Her footsteps were feeble, her countenance looked pale, and yes, she wore a bleak expression. Ayase ended up bumping heads with us right in front of her room.
Yo, Shimoto-san.
Ayase lifted her face with a gasp at Misumikun's greeting, with his breeziness turned on full blast, and then looked at me and smiled in a way that also made it seem as if she were about to weep. Why was she smiling now? Because she'd heard about the disturbance at the O-front and knew of how I chained myself? Or because she'd simply taken a liking to me? Oh, right, the O-front. That's right. I fucked up. I couldn't remember for the life of me what the fuck they were talking about earlier, but now I remember. Okay. The former would be devastatingly depressing. Why? Get a hot poontang, bitch? You should be happy.
俺たち君のお見舞いに来たんだよね。つうか岸本さん、パジャマ姿も可愛いじゃん。
Wow. He'd already activated his verbal playboy skills. What a fast reaction.
入って。
Ayase, on the other hand, didn't coldly blow him off the way she had before, but instead opened the door to her room and invited us in. She seemed no different after having slapped Rumi in the face on the roof. Was she doing a good job of hiding it? Or was it purely that she'd dumped the thing with Rimi off her back in the short period between then and now? As usual, I couldn't read what she was thinking.
やっぱ見舞いに来たのは正解だったぜ。今日は好感触だ。
Misume-kun struck a small victory pose out of Ayase's sight. Breathing violently through his nose, he charged into the hospital room. I reluctantly trailed after. Truthfully, I wanted to hurry up and go home with Rimi, but then again, I wasn't brave enough to call Rimi out now. I didn't know why it had happened, but she must be feeling down after someone else striked out at her so hard. And I didn't have the words to encourage her. Ayase sat down on the bed. Misume-kun, more nonchalant than ever, took a seat beside her. What audacious behavior! I unthinkingly reeled back at Misume-kun's aggressive posture. Ayase cast a glance at him, then fixed her line of sight on me. When she looked at me straight on, I became unsure of what kind of face to make in response. In the end, I hung my head.
怪我どう？もうだいぶ良くなってるみたいだけど。なんか必要なものあるなら遠慮なく言ってよ。俺がすぐ買ってきてやるぜ。
He focused intently on Ayase's hand. It seemed like he was scheming to hold her life and slither hand. What the fuck, dude? Whoever translated this, you on crack, boy? Would it be okay for me to leave, I wonder?
小説とか読む？俺さ、グラジオールサーガってのが好きなんだけど。岸本さん知ってる？
What a load of shit.
匠。
Oh boy. Without answering Misume-kun's inquiry, Ayase called my name.
君はグラジオールの7騎士の一人よ。
Yeah, boy.
あ？え？
She'd gone occult on me all of a sudden. I guess even the ruckus over her failed suicide attempt wasn't enough to change her fundamental nature.
やっぱり導きだったんだわ。君と私が出会ったのは。
Quietly, simply, Ayase spoke. About a setting I could only think of as being some middle school student's rebellious fantasy.
君の邪神はとても強大。だからこそ言うことなしなのよ。黒騎士としての素質は。君が今経験している苦しみはすべて神罰。大いなる意志による試練なの。それを乗り越えたときに理想度は召喚されるわ。君の手に必ず。そして現れるのよ。邪神の黒き大蛇。あらゆる崩壊を飲み込み、邪神王の身を砕くことのできる。同質にして異質なるものが。
Woo!
現実なの。グラジオールも理想度も。かまいたちがその証よ。実在しない現象は後世に言葉として残ることはないわ。知っている？語源を。 構えたち。それは理想度を意味しているの。
Hmm.
信じて、匠。グラジオールを倒すのよ。一緒に。
Glajiu. I remember now. Okay. I'd seen it when I first looked up D-swords. It had said that D-sword was a sword that originally appeared in the Pseudepigraphra and other forms of literature discussing the legend of Glajiu, sorry. Misumikun quietly stood up and walked over in my direction. As he brushed by me, he put a hand on my shoulder and
俺、外に出てるわ。
You got fucked, boy. She's mine now. Ah.
タク、押し倒しちまえよ。俺の読みじゃ、岸本はお前に脈ありだぜ。え
Upon grinning mischievously, he really did leave. Afterwards, of course, I was left behind with Ayase. Oh, yeah, right. We're going into Mosul land. Silence. Though she'd single-handedly gone on and on about her odd beliefs before, Ayase now looked down, rolling and unrolling the hem of her pajamas over and over. Wait, what? Would it be bad if I didn't say anything? But I hadn't understood a word of what she'd said to me. No. I was paying her a visit in the hospital, so all I probably needed to do was say something considerate about how she was doing, and leave it at that. But considering how she was being hospitalized in psych ward, it didn't seem like I could casually ask her about her condition or anything. What should I do? At this rate, I would be better off leaving with Miss Mikun.
匠。
She gave me a startle when she called my name. Ayase raised her face and extended both her hands towards me.
来て。
Mm,
こっちに来て。
I didn't know what she'd do to me if I refused, so I took a single confused step forward toward the bed.
もっと。
At her urging, I took another step. Her hands touched mine. Seizing them, she pulled me closer still. She lowered her face again. She stared steadily at my hands.
君は私を救ってくれた。
Whoo!
命の恩人よ。
That wasn't true. I'd only happened to save Ayase's life. For starters, I wasn't completely sure whether I had really been the one who gave rise to that flower bed. I'm pretty sure you were, dude. Oh, did it bug out again? It did, didn't it? Alright, guys, we'll be right back after this short break. And we're probably gonna see the last scene again. Catch you soon.